If you thought Pennywise was the biggest monster in It, Welcome to Derry, Episode 6 proves you were only looking at the surface, because the true horror in this chapter isn't the clown lurking in the dark. It's the old woman smiling politely in daylight. Today, we're diving deep into the twisted history and terrifying motives of Mrs. Kersh.
You saw him.
As Episode 6 exposes the shocking truth behind Periwinkle's appearances and connects it all to the long, cursed legacy of Pennywise himself. And trust me, this might be the moment where you finally realize that Pennywise doesn't just create monsters, he recruits them. If you found this video interesting, please do give us a like and watch the video to the end. That will help us reach a wider audience on YouTube. And also, don't forget to subscribe for more upcoming videos. Back to the breakdown. Episode 6 begins with an unsettling calm, the kind that makes you instinctively brace for what's coming next. Lilly, who's been questioning every shadow in Derry, finally decides to confront the woman who has been quietly hovering around the edges of the mystery, Mrs. Kersh. She's always been strange, too quiet, too watchful, but nothing could prepare Lilly for what she finds in the attic. The moment Lilly steps into Kersh's home, Kersh tries to play the sweet, confused old lady routine, offering tea, smiling with that tight, unnatural grin.
Oh, sweetheart, you did it.
But Lily's instincts are sharper now. Something's off. And when she slips away toward the attic staircase, that's where the entire series pivots. The attic door creaks open like it's warning her not to enter, but Lilly ignores the dread and climbs up. And what she finds instantly rips away the illusion of who Mrs. Kersh really is. The attic is filled with clown costumes, some clean, some worn and grimy, alongside boxes of makeup, and chillingly, photographs. Not just any photographs, pictures of Pennywise, some old and yellowed like they came from another century, some disturbingly recent, hanging on strings like decorations, scattered across tables, taped on walls. Moments frozen of the clown grinning, staring, lurking. Lilly realizes, with a sickening drop in her stomach, that someone has been dressing up as the clown figure the kids have been terrified of. Someone human, someone who can move unnoticed in daylight, and someone who knows the children of Derry better than anyone else. And that someone is Mrs. Kersh. This discovery blows open everything the audience thought they knew. That haunting figure, Periwinkle, it wasn't a ghost. It wasn't a hallucination. It wasn't even Pennywise himself. It was Mrs. Kersh, crawling into the clown persona for reasons that are far darker and far more tragic than anyone expected. When Kersh appears behind Lilly in the attic, her polite facade is gone. She doesn't even try to pretend. Instead, she sits down quietly, hands in her lap, and begins to confess with the eerie calm of someone who believes completely in her own madness. And this is where the episode delivers its most disturbing revelation. According to Kersh, her father was a clown, a man who performed under the name Pennywise, long before the supernatural monster appeared in Derry. She loved him, idolized him, and lost him far too young. His death left a permanent fracture in her childhood, one that never healed. But the crack only deepened when she grew older and began working as a nurse at the Juniper Hill Asylum. That's where everything shifted. The kids in the asylum, frightened, fragile, mentally unraveling, kept whispering the same story. They had seen a man dressed as a clown, a shadow with a painted smile, a presence that moved through the halls at night. Some said he sat at the foot of their bed. Some said he whispered to them. Some said he wanted them to follow him. Hearing this over and over for years revived something in Kersh, hope twisted with obsession. She became convinced that this clown wasn't just a hallucination or a shared trauma. It was her father returning from somewhere beyond comprehension, trying to reach her, trying to be with her. In her mind, this wasn't horror. It was a miracle. And that belief consumed her. She began digging. She followed rumors. But the more she searched, the more her reality blurred. And eventually, without truly understanding what she was doing, she crossed a line she could never come back from. Episode 6 reveals, carefully, without graphic detail, that one of the children under her care died because she, driven by desperation, let the child wander off, hoping he would lead her to the clown she believed was her father. Instead, the child vanished into the same mystery that has eaten countless souls in Derry. The tragedy wasn't an accident. It was the first sign that Pennywise had noticed her. According to Kersh's confession, The clown entity began manipulating her,
It's me, Papa.
whispering ideas that felt like memories, planting thoughts in her mind, convincing her that if she helped him, if she lured children to him, she would finally see her father again. Not the real man, not the human clown she once knew, but Pennywise, the cosmic predator, wearing her father's memory the way he wears faces. Kersh begins describing this as though it's an honor, a sacred mission. To her, she's helping a lost parent return. To everyone else, it's horrifying. The most chilling part is that she doesn't see herself as a villain. She sees herself as a daughter fulfilling her purpose. The show intentionally blurs the line between her trauma and Pennywise's influence, forcing the audience to question whether she was manipulated or already broken long before Pennywise got to her. But one thing becomes unmistakably clear. Mrs. Kersh has been sacrificing children to the entity she believes is her father, not because she enjoys it, not because she's evil in the way Pennywise is, but because she has been living in a delusion so powerful that it turned her into the perfect servant for a creature like him. And the worst part? She admits this to Lilly almost affectionately, as if she's passing down family wisdom. When Lilly confronts her, horrified and speechless, Kersh just smiles with this heartbreaking, twisted sadness, like she thinks Lilly should understand why she did it. Episode 6 builds to its final moments with a slow, dreadful inevitability. Lilly tries to leave, shaken to her core, but Kersh doesn't chase her. Instead, she walks back into the attic, opens one of the boxes, and begins dressing up as Periwinkle again. Piece by piece, she rebuilds the persona, the wig, the painted smile, the outfit. Not as a disguise this time, but as a commitment. She's fully embraced her role as Pennywise's instrument, and as the camera catches her silhouette framed in the attic window, the eerie realization hits the audience. She isn't running from the truth. She's preparing to continue her mission. She's heading back into Derry to lure more children to serve Pennywise the only way she knows how, fueled by a delusion stronger than fear and deeper than morality. That's the horror of episode 6. Not Pennywise appearing in the sewers, not a monstrous reveal, not a jump scare. The horror is human. It's the reminder that Pennywise doesn't need to appear to spread terror. Sometimes he just needs someone broken enough to believe he's something worth helping. Mrs. Kersh becomes a tragic mirror of what Pennywise has done to Derry for generations, twisting grief into devotion, pain into loyalty, and vulnerability into a weapon. And the show subtly hints that Kersh isn't the first, and definitely won't be the last to fall under his influence. Episode 6 turns her into the perfect example of how Pennywise infects the town not just through fear, but through manipulation, through memories, through lies disguised as hope. As she walks into the night dressed as Periwinkle once again, the town of Derry becomes more dangerous, not because monsters are hiding in the shadows, but because one is walking in plain sight, smiling innocently, carrying a legacy of madness passed down through generations. And now that Lilly knows the truth, the stakes are higher than ever. Because Pennywise has many faces, but Mrs. Kersh proves that sometimes the most terrifying one belongs to someone who genuinely believes they're doing the right thing. The episode leaves viewers with a chilling question. If Pennywise can twist a lonely, grieving woman into a child-luring accomplice, how many others has he corrupted over the decades without anyone knowing? And worse, how many are still out there? Episode 6 doesn't just expand Pennywise's mythology, it lays the foundation for a darker truth. Pennywise doesn't just return every 27 years. His influence never really leaves. It lingers in the minds he breaks, the memories he twists, and the humans he recruits. And Mrs. Kersh, stepping into the Periwinkle costume one last time, becomes the embodiment of that horrifying legacy. A reminder that the scariest monsters in Derry aren't always supernatural. Sometimes, they're the people who think they're helping. And as the episode fades out, leaving us with the echo of that legacy, one thing becomes clear. The fight against Pennywise has never been just a battle against a creature. It's a battle for the minds of the people who live under his shadow. And Derry is full of shadows. The real question now is, who will Pennywise claim next?